The book of Jubilees, chapter 48. And in the 6th year, the 3rd week of the 49th Jubilee, thou didst depart and dwell in the land of Midian 5 weeks and 1 year. And thou didst return into Egypt in the 2nd week, in the 2nd year, in the 50th Jubilee. And though thyself knowest what he spake unto thee on Mount Sinai, and what Prince Mastema desired to do with thee when thou wast returning unto Egypt, on the way when thou didst meet him at the lodging place. Did he not with all power seek to slay thee and deliver the Egyptians out of thy hand, when he saw that thou wast sent to execute judgment and vengeance on the Egyptians? And I delivered thee out of his hand, and thou didst perform the signs and wonders which thou wast sent to perform in Egypt against Pharaoh, and against all his house, and against his servants and his people. And the Lord Jehovah executed a great vengeance on them for Israel's sake, and smote them through the plagues of blood and frogs, lice and dog fleas, and malignant boils breaking forth in blains, and their cattle by death and by hailstones. Thereby he destroyed everything that grew for them, and by locusts which devoured the residue which had been left by the hail, and by darkness, and by the death of the firstborn of men and animals. And on all their idols the Lord Jehovah took vengeance, and burned them with fire. And everything was sent through thy hand, that thou shouldest declare these things before they were done. And thou didst speak with the king of Egypt before all his servants and before his people. And everything took place according to thy words. 10 great and terrible judgments came on the land of Egypt, that thou mightest execute vengeance on it for Israel. And the Lord Jehovah did everything for Israel's sake, and according to his covenant, which he had ordained with Abraham, that he would take vengeance on them, as they had brought them by force into bondage. And the prince Mastema stood up against thee, and sought to cast thee into the hands of Pharaoh, and he helped the Egyptian sorcerers. And they stood up and wrought before thee the evils indeed we permitted them to work, but the remedies we did not allow to be wrought by their hands. And the Lord Jehovah smote them with malignant ulcers, and they were not able to stand, for we destroyed them so that they could not perform a single sign. And notwithstanding all these signs and wonders, the prince Mastema was not put to shame, because he took courage and cried to the Egyptians to pursue after thee with all the powers of the Egyptians, with their chariots and with their horses, and with all the hosts of the peoples of Egypt. And I stood before the Egyptians in Israel, and we delivered Israel out of his hand, and out of the hand of his people. And the Lord Jehovah brought them through the midst of the sea as it were dry land. And all the peoples whom he brought to pursue after Israel, the Lord our God Jehovah cast them into the midst of the sea, into the depths of the abyss beneath the children of Israel. Even as the people of Egypt had cast their children into the river, he took vengeance on 1,000,000 of them, and 1,000 strong and energetic men were destroyed on account of one suckling of the children of thy people, which they had thrown into the river. And on the 14th day, and on the 15th, and on the 16th, and on the 17th, and on the 18th, the prince Mastema was bound and imprisoned beyond the children of Israel, that he might not accuse them. And on the 19th we let them loose, that they might help the Egyptians and pursue the children of Israel. And he hardened their hearts and made them stubborn. And the device was devised by the Lord our God Jehovah, that he might smite the Egyptians and cast them into the sea. And on the 14th we bound him, that he might not accuse the children of Israel on the day when they asked the Egyptians for vessels and garments, vessels of silver and vessels of gold and vessels of bronze, in order to despoil the Egyptians in return for the bondage which they had forced them to serve. And we did not lead forth the children of Israel from Egypt empty-handed.